Hello, fourth and fifth graders. So last week we talked about artists, and some of us at the beginning of this week, we talked about artists and we used their motif to create a new skin for our turkey, right? So I used Van Gogh, and I talked about Starry Night and then one of his sunflower paintings for the tail feathers. So I'm going to use that same artist. Hopefully you don't hate them by now. And I'm going to be designing a balloon for the Macy's Day Parade based on this artist. So I'm going to use I can go really abstract or I could go pretty straightforward. So I've decided to go pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do, I decided that in Van Gogh's work, okay, he has these sunflowers. I need to think about like the weight of these, right? So I'm going to add on a big area for the center, right? So that could be filled with all that helium to help it float. I'm going to have some change of scale here. Then I'm going to also add in the pot down at the bottom because I think it would look funny to have just the floating sunflowers at the top. So mine is actually going to end up going off the page, but that's okay. You may want to just go ahead and erase out any extra pencil lines you have, and you have the choice. You can add color by using marker. You can add color by using crayon, whatever you have available. I'm going to combine for mine. I'm going to use marker, and I'm going to actually use water too to get a couple different values there. Okay. But I do know that I don't want to draw out all my flower petals and then draw them again. So I've drawn this base for my balloon. This balloon might go a little swaying back and forth. I have to think about where I need those ropes to help hold it down. There's going to be some here. I think I'll need some here, and then probably at the base of my pot, I'll need more ropes. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my colors. So I'm going to add on my flower petals, remembering they can be all different sizes, all different shapes. And I'm going to keep adding. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of water to some of my areas, just a little bit. My markers are washable markers, so they should bleed just a little bit, so I can get a lighter blue into the inside here. I wouldn't get too much. Don't go too crazy with your paint because you don't want all your areas to bleed together. So I'm going to get the inside of my pot a light blue just by going over those marker lines. If you don't have markers, you could use regular watercolor paint. Just adding it in right here. Using the ink that's already on my page. I'm going to do a little bit with my pot as well. I don't need to do it a ton, just filling in those areas right in there. The last area that I wanted to do was the center of my flower. I don't know if I have enough color on there to have it really bleed. The yellow doesn't work as well as the brighter colors, but I'm going to get a color in here. And I'm fine with leaving the swirls because that's what Van Gogh does. He has those swirly lines. Okay. So I went ahead. I am finishing mine up. I have to be able to explain in my seesaw video to Miss Katie how actually big I made my sunflower. So mine is, I don't know, maybe 4 stories high. So my house is 2 stories high. So my house stacked on top of another house would be how tall my balloon is. And these are how the people are holding it. And I think it takes about 70 people to hold my balloon still to make sure it doesn't tip over. I think right here is going to be the weak spot as far as the balloon swinging a lot. And that might, if we go ahead and we were to build this, that might be what we see that the problem area is. Can't wait to see what you build.